Hi, are you ready to hear why today is the greatest day of my life? The Mandalorian, Season 2, Episode 8, Chapter 16, The Rescue. This is... I'm beyond words. I'm trying to keep my emotions in check, but it's better just to let them flow. Let's wind the clocks back. 5 years ago, The Force Awakens came out. 5 years and a day, on the 17th of December, 2015. And I posted actually on my social media yesterday a picture of friends and coworkers and I playing video games. We were playing Battlefront. I think it was the first Battlefront, before we went and saw the midnight showing of The Force Awakens. And it was a fun ride, man. It was a fun trip. You could feel that J.J. Abrams and that team was trying to accomplish something that resonated to the OG Star Wars, trying to lift Star Wars out of the prequel era. And that is probably the most difficult, if not nigh impossible task in all of Hollywood to try to accomplish because of the nature of Star Wars and how it really is doctrine and dogma in our culture. Luke Skywalker means more to me than Jesus Christ, and I used to be an ordained minister. I no longer follow any man-made religions, but the tenets of what good people around the world throughout eons of time have tried to hold on to within any wisdom or knowledge passed down through stories. And the hero's journey, the story of Luke doing the right thing, even sacrificing training and leaving himself vulnerable and susceptible because he wanted to rescue his friends. And at the very end, he is willing to sacrifice himself for his father. He throws his lightsaber, he gives up on the potential of the dark side and the power that it will bring. You could rule the galaxy. He's like, no, I'd rather save my father. That type of hero, that type of sacrifice resonated with every boy and girl that I knew in school, and every story that people would tell, and Luke and Darth Vader and Han Solo and Chewie and Princess Leia and the droids. It was a part of the mythos that helped shape the morality of who we were, which is the point of stories. That's why stories are so important and continue on the civilization of humans. Now we have all this amazing technology that allows us to tell these fantastical stories in a galaxy far, far away, but the core of the lessons in Star Wars is, truly universal. And it felt like the sequel trilogy didn't hit the beats needed for it to be 100% Star Wars. And I've gone into details on my podcast and stuff about that. I appreciate the craftsmanship of what it took to make those films. I just don't appreciate the story, as do, I would say, I echo most Star Wars fans. And in particular, the treatment of a character or the wanting to see a character do a specific thing. Now, I'm gonna warn you with spoilers right now, because there's really no point in talking about the points in this episode except the greatest point in this entire show. I can't even believe it happened. I can't even believe it happened, and yet it's the greatest thing. So they're going to rescue the kid, and we got Bo-Katan, we got Boba Fett, and seeing these characters interact this way, even in live action, but in any form, is a huge payoff, right? Just how we felt earlier in the season with Boba Fett. Now, in previous episodes, when Grogu sent out the distress beacon through the Force, I wanted Luke Skywalker to appear. And, de-age's face, that would truly be amazing. But part of you's like, why? Why even consider that? We're not going to see Luke. We're not going to see Luke in his greatest form, just taking down the bad guys left and right. We got to see it at the beginning of Return of the Jedi and how powerful he had become, but it just felt like such a travesty that for all these years, we couldn't see something like that. So a number of podcasts that I listened to and reviewers and YouTubers would say, they're not going to bring Luke on. I mean, come on, he's a film actor. And I thought, wait, Mark Hamill was in the first season of Mandalorian. He was a voice for one of the droids. He loves this stuff because he sees the positive impact it has had on people in the world. And Mark Hamill is one of my heroes from afar. I mean, I'd love to sit down and have lunch with him one day and just talk about life, but if I could go back in time, I think I would love to see his performance on Broadway as Mozart in Amadeus. I had the privilege of playing Salieri in that play, which was the most lines I ever had. I never left the stage for those full 2 hours, and it was quite an endeavor. But we had a talented group of people that made it happen, and some of those people still remain my friends to this day, and they've gone on and made a career in the entertainment space. So the implications, the thoughts and theories that people have is, maybe it'll be a new Jedi, or maybe it'll be Ezra Bridger. And the dichotomy of this story was intriguing because you could see how a character like Gideon had survived for so long and how resourceful he was and just diabolical as well. The issue with the dark saber and how it has to be won in a fight. I think Bo-Katan could take a dose of her own medicine and go, "Oh, Mandalorian, we can take off our helmets. Your religion says you can't. Hey, Bo-Katan, your religion says you can't win this. Guess what? I yield it to you. Who cares?" So it's tough because the theme of religion is still playing strong and Gideon says it's because of the stories. The story is what gives her that power, and the tradition is what gives her, that power. And power is what? Power is a power like that when it comes to authority is what people give you. And if they hear that story and they go, "Oh, you won it from your enemy." Okay, I get it, but I just found it was very ironic in a funny tragedy sort of way with her interactions with the Mandalorian and his helmet wearing, and now her with receiving the dark saber. So those, and a couple moments with the dialogue where I'm like, that's a Star Wars dialogue. Do they have to pepper that stuff in all the time because it kind of takes you out of it, or are they trying to entrench you more into the universe? So it's just, I don't know, it's kind of goofy and clunky sometimes, but it's okay. It's charming. It's like if there was quirks in somebody and at first you thought they were annoying or kind of like what, but then you realize, that's just who they are. I just think it could be smoothed over just a tiny bit more, but that's my only one nitpick. And that's the only thing that I felt, and pardon me for continuing to clear my nose here, but I've been crying for joy. I've been crying for joy because this moment where the Dark Troopers were in that hallway and they're coming to take them out. Everybody's gonna die. And I could feel the buildup of, okay, this is the moment where somebody answered the call. And it's a lone X-Wing. And even Cara Dune's line, one X-Wing, great, we're saved. And then a cloaked figure through the security cam. You see him walking down the hallway. And then the green lightsaber. And the one glove. And he's wrecking these droids am right. I didn't even know I was capable of such happiness. That's the craziest part about what's happened in the last hour. I had my hands on my head, my hands over my mouth. I was shouting. And then when the episode ended, I just couldn't believe it. So overcome with emotion. Why? Because Luke Skywalker, to me, is the pillar of a good person doing the right thing in all the stories that I've heard. And he's flawed, a bit naive to start out with, but and we got to see him in action. And shit, I apologize if this emotion is annoying to you, but this is raw and authentic. And this is exactly what I've been waiting for to see in Star Wars, is my hero, the one that I resonated with the most. I love Han, I love Lando, love the charm, but that dedication and sacrifice and doing the right thing, you know. And Mark Hamill got to reprise the role. They digitally de-aged him, but it was his voice, his calm, cool demeanor as a Jedi, but also his gentleness as he was speaking to the child and speaking to the crew and speaking to Mando. Yeah, folks, this is why you make art, is when you can have this effect on people and have a lot more optimism in life and in the universe. So that's it. I'll let my emotions do the heavy lifting of the review. But yeah, today is the greatest day of my life in all my years of being a Star Wars fan. Thank you to Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, the director Peyton Reed, all the actors, the crew. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to go through Reddit and Twitter and for the rest of my friends to see this episode. This has been a really tough year. And this is exactly what I needed, and I think what a lot of people in the world needed. All right. I gotta eat some breakfast and get some coffee and maybe stop crying. We'll see. But I can't wait to watch this episode again. Thank you to everybody involved. What do you think in the comments below? Obviously, keep it spoiler free for a couple weeks, but then it's a spoiler review, so you can put spoilers in the comments. People shouldn't click it because I'll put spoiler review in the title. But yeah, what a day to be alive. Thank you, Lucasfilm. I'll see you online.